Hey yo, what is going on, everybody?
Hello,
Depraved
people.
Slasher here. We are back with the Pound / Marvel
Hello.
Media Podcast.
I am Pound.
I'm Depraved.
And we are Penis.
So,
That's it.
a couple things. The reason why if there's like 3 seconds we don't say shit at the start is because this is the third time we've had to open up OBS to record anything, and it's finally working.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem was before, but we got to figure it out. Another thing I wanted to mention before we get too far into this, the reason why we did not have any podcast episodes come out last week is because both Pound and I were sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, come on.
We both seemed to get sick, like, right at the same time. He got over his way quicker than I did, but,
Right? Hey, I mean, at work, he was like, I walked over there, I was like, oh, he dead. Like, he's, like, laid out.
we were going to record 2 weeks worth because me and Kat are supposed to be on vacation next week, and we don't know if that's even going to happen now. So, here's how this is going to go. These 2 episodes this week are going to come out. There's a 50-50 chance that next week there will be 2 new episodes coming out. Now, the reason why I say 50-50, if there's not, don't be alarmed. I'm on vacation. And I didn't have it in me to watch the extra episodes and read the comics that needed to be done.
Yeah, he was out.
To get these 2 episodes recorded. Or the 2 extra episodes recorded. If there is, then that means we probably didn't go on vacation and we were able to record next weekend anyways. So.
Well, yeah.
We're here. That's all that matters. We are here.
We're here, kicking and moving.
So with that being said, we're going to let Ralph start it off. He's going to give us a little bit of news, and then I'm going to go on a rant.
Oh, man. And we're also going to talk about the Moon Knight trailer.
Yeah.
We're going to do all that. But, yeah. But the first
With that being said, Ralphus, give us the news.
Ralphus is with the news. Let's go. Let's start this off with a bang. People have been asking about Michael B. Jordan's return to the MCU, and of course with playing as Killmonger, and basically people are. He's basically come out with interviews and says, like, you know, who knows, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Like, he's like, I think I told you before we turn on the camera, it's either yes or no. We don't really know if he is or not, but more likely when you start hearing shit like this come out, well, he might be in this movie, bro. And they're gonna probably, and you say that they don't, but it's Marvel. They probably will have him like. He's like a multiverse Black Panther, and I hope it's just like for like a brief second and then kick him out. But more than likely, they probably gonna go this route.
The only way him coming in through that method as Black Panther will work for me is if they do it through Secret Wars. Reason being, so the Secret Wars in the comics is how they combined the Ultimate Universe into Earth 616. That's why we have Miles Morales in the main universe now, right, among other people.
Yeah.
And if you do it through a Secret Wars situation, it at least makes sense. What I don't want to see start to happen is them be like, okay, so we've killed off some people, we're going to bring some new people back to replace them. I don't want to see a new Tony Stark.
Right.
Here's looking at you, Tom Cruise. Fuck off.
Right.
I don't want to see a new Steve Rogers come in. I don't want to see Michael B. Jordan come back as Black Panther from another universe.
And this news has been going on for about a year now. Damn. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is... Because since I first announced this, that they were talks about him returning. And I'm like, it's starting to kind of feel like... Is that what they... okay. It's getting kind of confusing for me. It's like, is that what you guys want? I didn't think... Okay. Sure, I guess. It's not. It probably won't move the story.
No,
not really. And people are basically saying like Kevin Feige's runs a tight ship over at Marvel. He has specific plans in place, tends to keep to those plans. The only exception is the new Blade movie that was originally planned. Marshall Ali coming off as Oscar win and called Marvel to tell them that he wanted to be Blade, because, you know, he was the one that actually did call them that said, hey, I read it. Which that's dedication now. Remember what we talked about contracts,
but
people like it?
The only thing we got to worry about with that is they're bringing in Charlie Cox as Daredevil now.
Right. They got the Black Knight dude.
They brought in Kingpin.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Defondlino, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Vincent D'Onofrio, yeah.
So you're now starting to kind of tell us that the Netflix universe is technically canon. If that's the case, how is this one dude both a villain for Luke Cage and Blade?
And Blade. Oh, dear.
That's we're gonna have to walk a tight line here.
Right?
I don't know
But
what
Marshall
they're
Ali
gonna
was
do.
the main villain in season 1.
He wasn't the main.
All right, no, it was the woman. He was psychic.
He started off as the main
Right.
before Cottonmouth came in.
No, he was Cottonmouth.
No, Cottonmouth was the other guy.
Hold up. No, wait a minute. Hold up. Marsha.
I think it was.
I thought he played Cottonmouth. Hold up, because all I'm gonna do is go here.
Okay, so he was Cottonmouth.
Yeah, I knew he was.
Who was? There was another dude that ended up being the main villain that was one of Luke Cage's best friends.
Oh, that was the season 2 dude. He was the guy.
Was that season 2?
Yeah, he was the guy that took all the bullets. Yeah, he was like a shaman type deal.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Then I was just confusing the two. Okay.
Well, no, it's fine. Yeah, he was Cottonmouth, and I think, but his character was more. He played John McVeller. John McVeller. But yeah, he was the guy that they shot up, and he was able to take the bullets and repel off his body. But all I know is that with what's going on, I know you said you want him to be just a Secret Wars, but it seems to me that they really want him to come back, man. I don't know why.
They're scrambling. They don't know what to do with Boseman being gone. Next.
Oh, well, yeah, my bad. Because either way you're fucked. I was going to say, either way you're fucked anyway. Either you kill him off or you don't kill him off. You're fucked regardless, man. It doesn't matter. So, okay, let's do this. The next thing we also have is Doctor Strange 2 merch features Avengers logo that might just be from the whole new multiverse.
Yeah, so one of our coworkers one of Adelta's guys talked to me about this.
Right.
And he had brought it up. And he'd said that they're hinting at some sort of interdimensional Avengers team.
Right.
And I don't think we're necessarily going to get the interdimensional Avengers team. I think what's going to happen is what we're going to see in Doctor Strange is going to be the Illuminati.
Yeah, you said they were going to be.
Because I do think we're going to get Tom Cruise as a Tony Stark, but he's going to be like an interdimensional Illuminati member.
Right.
As well as Patrick Stewart's Professor X.
Yeah. We should see. Yeah.
The dude that everybody wanted to be Mr. Fantastic. I heard that was the version of Mr. Fantastic that he wanted to be.
Right, he wanted to
because he doesn't want to actually be in the MCU. He just wants to do a minor thing.
I remember reading that. Yeah, he said he just wants to play Reed Richards, but he doesn't want to be in. That is so weird. Huh.
Well, it's not that he doesn't want to be in the MCU. He doesn't want to be contractually obligated to have to show up so often.
Oh, so he's like once in a blue moon. Okay.
So if he does this whole behind the scenes Illuminati thing,
right?
Which again, we're talking Marvel's Illuminati guys, not an actual.
Right. But they haven't announced. Which I mean, it's all rumor, it's all. But yeah.
But at least that way he could show up for this movie, and if they want to bring back this interdimensional Illuminati in another 5 years after Patrick Stewart's passed away, since they're taking all of our legends away from us. Thanks, life.
Yeah, they took Meatloaf. I'm sorry.
Yeah, rest in peace to both Meatloaf and Louis Anderson.
And Louis Anderson. Wow. Yeah, they're both
What do you
gone.
guys mean?
Baskets and all. Yeah, he's gone. But anyway, yeah, we're on topic here. Yeah, I was going to tell you about that.
But yeah, so, and obviously we're also going to get like another Doctor Strange as an Illuminati member.
That should be the third movie. Him going into being part of that international or interdimensional Illuminati. That should be leading into that after Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So
I don't necessarily want the Illuminati, but hey, what can I say?
Yeah, we don't want Killmonger either, but we keep getting that bitch back.
No, he's too busy fighting Vision.
Right, and a little
it's not even Vision, it's Ultron
Vision with the little Russian dude. Scheisse. And finally, the last thing we got, which is really a tragic story, the French actor Jasper Uel, who played Midnight Man, which is one of his villains in Moon Knight, which is kind of sad, has passed away, age 37, following a ski accident, which that's why I will never go to ski for that.
Now, so here's...
I know. Yeah, I read the little how he went out.
Here's what confuses me. First off, it is 100% odd. I'm not saying anything. There was like any ill intent behind what happened.
He was just out there having fun.
It is just weird that he died and the guy that he ran into barely had anything wrong with him.
That is so weird. Like he swerved into him. Damn.
But it sucks. You hate to see or hear about somebody passing away.
That's doing something.
Especially in a situation like again, guys, I'm not somebody that needs the thrill of doing stupid shit.
Yeah, well, you said this in the car.
So like I won't. You'll never hear about me dying in a ski accident.
Or going swimming in the
ocean.
ocean.
You'll never hear me dying about drowning in the ocean. You'll never hear me dying about skydiving. None of the mountain climbing. None of the dumb shit. You're not gonna hear about it.
Well, yeah, because you don't like going. You don't like.
I don't even want to leave the house, let alone go anywhere to do any of this.
He don't put himself in that situation. Like, what the fuck?
And here's what I'm thinking. Okay, one of Marvel's stipulations to being in the MCU is you're not allowed to go out and do dangerous things. It's one of the reasons why, it's one of the main reasons why Chris Evans wanted to get out of the MCU, because there's a lot of stuff he wants to do personally that he's just not allowed to do while he's in the MCU. Same thing goes for Tom Holland.
Right.
There's a lot of things.
At one point, he wanted to.
There's a lot of things Tom Holland wants to go out and do that he's not allowed to do because he's in the MCU. So what this tells me is one of two things happened here, right? Either this person's character was never intended to move on.
Right, as I said, like his contract ended.
So he was pretty much in for a one-series deal, which means this character's not going to be a major character, or if he is, his character arc's going to end in the first season. Otherwise, Marvel would have told him, no, you can't go out and do that.
Right?
Shit. Unless he decided he was going to go out and do this shit anyways.
Fuck.
But and there's a lot of people that are online that are like,
we don't know this man's contract,
right? But there's a lot of people that are online because as soon as this happened, a lot of people were like, well, at least he didn't, or at least he finished filming this season.
That's what I said. At least he did film.
Which sounds heartless.
It does sound heartless.
But it's never meant. The people that say it aren't like, oh well, thank God he finished recording. Like that's not what people are doing. They're just saying at least he got the opportunity to finish what he was doing. And that's how his legacy can be left.
Right.
This is the final.
In fact, they may just honor all this shit to him. To be honest,
they probably will.
Like somebody even said, he died without watching the full series because he's gonna die without even watching like the full series. And somebody said, you did not just seriously tweet that. What the fuck? Twitter is such a crazy shit, man. He basically saying like, don't you want to see your masterpiece like in action? And now you are gone. Like you won't even see your.
I promise you, he don't care.
I know he probably wouldn't care, but
no, I'm saying he don't now.
Okay.
You can call me heartless all you want. I don't give a fuck. Okay. But when I'm dead and gone, I ain't give a fuck about what any of y'all motherfuckers are doing.
Dead and gone.
I'm dead. All right.
He said, I think your phrase was, "I just want to live happy."
That's
that's a good philosophy. I just want to live happy.
I look at death completely differently than what most people do, because all of us are gonna die. It's gonna happen.
It's inevitable.
Every single one of you that are listening, I hope this keeps you up at night. At one point, at some point in your life, it will be the end of your life, and you will be gone. Right. That's just it. It's gonna happen. I would rather be happy while I'm here.
Right, it's whatever type of legacy you leave behind.
Because everybody's constantly, dude, when I'm dead, I ain't gonna give a fuck about no legacy. I'm gonna be dead.
That's it. That's right to the point. Yeah, no, I don't know if I really explain that. Yeah.
It's just so many people are like, eat right. I want to live as long as possible. Cool, you do that. If that's what makes you happy, is living as long as possible. Live as long as possible. Eat your fucking rabbit food. Enjoy drinking all of your enjoy drinking all of your spring water and life.
Straight to the vein.
I will take my diabetes and go early and be fine.
Diet like 50, be like, that is fucking worth it. Cool. At least we saw all the Marvel movies before they sent out like 50 more.
Anyways,
but yeah, it is a sad thing, and it is
what
it is. It sucks, man. Because he just wasn't that fun.
Regardless if he's going to, if his character was intended to be further in the series.
Because we won't know until we watch it. So he may be one episode, to be honest.
Right, either or. It just, you don't like it sucks to hear about somebody passing away, especially in a situation like that where 100% preventable. He could have just not skied. But I also guarantee you he was having fun.
Yeah, no, look, he was having fun. Just enjoying life.
Enjoying life.
Like, well, so he died.
He died happy. Well, probably scared, but
scared. But yeah, he died. Well, he was having fun. He had fun. That's really what this whole vacation. It was a ski accident. It was like a vacation. So, but anyway, that was really all news I got. So,
all right, now next up.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, we're talking about the trailer.
Oh no, yeah, trailer. Then I was ready for it.
The Moon Knight trailer dropped earlier this week.
Day and night.
Day and night.
I ain't gonna lie. Oscar Isaac's just in that bed, just fiddling with a Rubik's Cube.
I'm making a prediction now.
Uh-huh.
I bet he fiddles with that Rubik's Cube every single night before bed in every episode. I bet it's completely finished by the time the series is over.
Ooh, okay.
Random prediction. I bet he finishes it before the series is over.
Because he's just throwing that bitch.
And I think it's going to be one of those things where he finishes it on the last episode.
Right.
Which is also the time where his whole story is going to come together.
Come together.
I'm just saying.
Lean right into himself.
That's my wild prediction for pre-show. I don't have anything for the actual show. Yeah, but
it looks
here's
good. I mean, I know you said you're kind of like had thoughts on it.
I'm excited about Moon Knight. But I'm excited about Moon Knight in the same reason I was excited about Eternals, in the same reason I was excited about Shang-Chi.
Well, you could say with the first Iron Man movie.
I don't know.
No, that's right.
I was not excited about the first Iron Man movie. You forget. I didn't even start watching the MCU until Avengers.
Right.
I'm excited about the fact that I have no clue who the fuck Moon Knight is.
Right.
So I'll finally get to know a little bit about this character.
And what he does.
But that's where this whole trailer means almost nothing to me.
Yeah.
Because, it's cool. What did we get to see? We got to see him beat up on what's probably a werewolf.
Yeah. Which I'm hoping that's one of my predictions. I hope this does lead to more monsters and shit. So that's one of my little predictions.
I don't know enough about the character to be excited about all the little things that happen. Basically.
No, it's
like when we watched the Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. I was going through picking shit apart. I was like, I bet this is that, and I was actually right on a lot of it. But I was like, I bet this is that. This is this. This is that. I was like, did you see this? This is probably going to be this. Like, I was able to analyze it.
Like, I knew that MA or Happy were going to die. Like,
and this one, I'm like, that's Moon Knight. He's the one in all white. That's Moon Knight.
The costume looks cool.
I think it does. A lot of people don't like it.
Really? Huh.
There are a few people that have bitched about it.
Already? Yeah. Fuck. It looks cool. Like, it literally looks like what Moon Knight's supposed to fucking look like.
Right.
What? That's so weird. Okay, damn.
You guys are going to see a cat here in a second.
Man.
What do you want, baby? Come here.
Attention.
Meow.
The cat literally jumped right on the couch. I just said, hello.
Hi, baby. You rarely ever just jump in my lap.
Right.
No.
Because that was it. She wants it.
No.
She wants...
You
know why she hopped on the left?
She wants the ashtray.
Right, that's why she's hopping on.
No. But yeah, so over and above all, I'm excited for it in the same way that I was excited for all the other things that I didn't know anything about. All right, it's time for you to go. Can you not land on my Mountain Dew bottle? She's like, you threw me here, dick.
Right? That's why she got up there. She said, oh, you think you're going to just let me go up there? Of course I'm taking the ashtray. What do you mean, dude? Don't play me.
She's probably going to sit in that chair.
Right.
But no, so, yeah, I'm excited for Moon Knight. It was a good trailer. It didn't get me any more or any less excited for the show. Yeah. I'm excited. We got an announcement date earlier in the day.
Because we didn't know, bro. So we didn't know what the fuck was coming out, bro. Like,
as it stood, Miss Marvel was the next scheduled show, and then they were like, "Oh no, Moon Knight, March 30th," and I'm like, "Oh, thank God!"
It came like out of nowhere.
I didn't want to wait till May.
Right? Like Jesus, was it Miss Marvel? I thought it was. I thought we was going to wait to Doctor Strange.
No, TV shows.
No, okay, my bad. Okay. I mean, I would say for MCU, I was like, what is the first MCU? Is it Doctor Strange or Miss Marvel? Because we were really just sitting here in the dark, like, okay, guys, we're going to be sitting here for the next 5 or 6 months.
What, Morbius got pushed back another 2 months.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Morbius is gay. Or not good.
I just, it's...
I ain't been Mr. Young.
All right, here's gonna be my rant.
Boy, and he pointed this shit out to me like 2 days ago. I was like,
I've been thinking about how I'm gonna do this, and I want to do this in the most disrespectful way.
I wish we were like a big channel, man. Which please subscribe to us.
All four of you that are watching this, or listening to this, you may follow these channels, and if you do, I'm sorry you subject yourself to their bullshit. Okay, there were 2 channels I was pretty much introduced to this week.
Because you never heard of
never heard of either of them.
Because I've heard of the one, not there, but
I ran across a YouTube channel by the name of Nerdrotic.
Yep. Now this one I heard of today.
And then I ran across the other one is the one that I ran across the Quarterling, which is the other one.
But I heard about him for years.
So he had said something about I don't mean to sound like a sexist asshole.
Yep.
And somebody
I found that video too.
And Cam Steady, who's one of the nerdcore hip hop guys,
right? Yep.
Had quoted him, but clipped out the box to where literally it just said, it pretty much said, "I'm a sexist asshole."
I'm a sexist asshole.
And he says that's about right. And I was like, well, I wonder who this is.
Right.
So I go and
he said way.
I watch.
Quarterling says way worse, man.
I watch one of the Quarterlings videos. I watch 2 or 3 of the Nerdrotic videos. And here's my problem with them. They sound like the opposite side of the coin of what we got to hear from nerdy females growing up.
Right?
So growing up, nerdy females,
right.
There's no female superheroes. How can I, or females in general, there's no female superheroes. How am I supposed to be able to get into superheroes if I don't have anyone I can relate to? Because let's be real. Superheroes, for a lot of us, are characters we enjoy because we relate to them.
Right.
It's why the Black Panther movie was so praised.
Right.
Right.
That's why we like Spider-Man.
It's why I like Spider-Man.
Right.
I grew up, dealing with the same kind of life issues that Peter Parker did.
Right. High school, all that shit. Yeah.
And then Shang-Chi being an important hero now for the Asian community.
Right.
Like, representation is an important thing when it comes to fandoms. Okay? And I feel like you two are a couple of spoiled...
Yeah, they got too much money on their hand.
Bitchy...
Yeah.
Males who are mad because the male representation has been brought down a notch.
Right, and it really, really crazy.
It really hasn't.
That's what's so
only
really bonkers.
Only 2 of the male heroes, 3 of the male heroes are now gone.
Right.
The 3 being Iron Man, who died.
So he's trying to bring his ass back, apparently.
Steve Rogers, who is just old.
He's old.
So he's pretty. He might as well be dead.
He's a legend.
And Hawkeye. Now, and here's another funny thing. To you 2 cunts that want to sit here and bitch and moan about it. All 3 of those actors don't want to come back. That's why they've been written off.
Written off. Because Robert
Downey Jr. already said straight up. He says there's nothing new I can do with the character.
Right.
He doesn't want to play the character anymore.
He's done. He's it. That's it.
Fucking Chris Evans has even came out and said, I don't really want to be Captain America anymore. I want to be able to go off and explore other opportunities.
Right. I don't get it.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. Yeah, he said this was. He personally said this was.
He said this is his last time. Being hockey.
He's 50. Have you looked at his age? He's 50, bro.
This is their choice.
Right. They're not saying, "Oh man, I'm gonna push
out my
woman."
And the only thing they can do in the Marvel universe besides recasting, which would piss people off more,
right,
is to pass the torch to the next generation of heroes. That, by the way, are the heroes that are taking up these mantles in the comics. You want to sit here and piss and moan because
it was Shuri's situation.
Because
he's gone.
Well, we're not even talking about that.
Oh, okay.
But you want to sit here and piss and moan about Riri Wilson coming in and taking over the female Ironheart.
Right.
That's who's Iron. She's Ironheart. She's in the comics.
She's her own character.
She's her own character. She's in the comics.
She's her own
You're just gonna have to fucking deal with it. Then you've got
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop, who is the new Hawkeye in the comics and has been for about 10 years now.
Real. And
Haley Stanfield did fine.
That too. And in that video, like when I was looking about the nerd one, he was like, "Man, MCU and man, she really took over." I'm like, she never took over at all.
We're getting there.
That's irritating, actually.
And then who was the other one? Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers.
Guess what? Sam Wilson. He's a guy.
And he's the second Captain America.
Oh, but I'm sorry. You didn't like that show because it focused on race, which is what Sam Wilson's Captain America does in the fucking comics.
Focus on race.
And here's and I'm so tired of it because these two gentlemen here, these two wet pieces of shit in the YouTube community, and I don't care how many of you guys want to come in here and talk shit, are so worried about the quote-unquote woke agenda that is being pushed in the MCU. Do you not understand? For the entirety of Marvel's comic run has been about being all-inclusive. You are the same bitches that are going to complain when the X-Men come out and are dealing with their own race issues, which they have been dealing with for 60 fucking years.
Right, he made them about black representation.
60 fucking years.
Not just black representation.
That's what they've been dealing with. That's what their whole story arc is.
It's being different.
Is being outcasts.
Right. That's why people like the X-Men a lot, because they're outcasts. They're not just typical like that. They're not the Avengers.
And the biggest problem, the biggest and dumbest fucking thing I heard come from anybody's fucking mouth is this jackass on Nerdrotic's fucking channel that comes out and wants to say some shit like, oh, you want to know why Spider-Man succeeded? Spider-Man succeeded because they didn't push a woke agenda. No, motherfucker. Spider-Man succeeded because it's fucking Spider-Man.
Dude, this is a good movie.
You want to know why the Eternals didn't succeed in the movie theaters? Because nobody knows who the Eternals are. Right. It wasn't because they race swapped or gender swapped or made somebody gay. Nobody knows who the Eternals are. Yeah. I seen the Eternals. I thought it was a damn good movie.
Right.
And I had no clue who they were. Shang-Chi, another character, who, by the way, in my honest opinion...
People think it's boring. I'm like, you think Shang-Chi's boring?
Had the second best Marvel movie this year, and let me tell you what, it's not behind Spider-Man that much.
Right, no.
It was a fantastic fucking movie.
Those visual effects, you can't cut that, man.
It was a fantastic movie. You want to know why it failed in theaters? Because nobody knows who the fuck Shang-Chi is. Nobody knows who any of these characters are.
Because that's what we're throwing out now. We're not throwing out your Captain America, your Iron Man somewhere. We're moving the story, y'all. That's really what we're doing. We're moving the story.
They're progressing the story.
Gotta progress, guys.
And I never want to hear the term MCU.
I don't want to hear that again.
A fucking game. Because A, you sound like you're retarded with a fucking lisp.
And they were saying it like it just rolled off the tongue, like you're rapping. The MCU. I'm like, wow. So is this like a thing?
Just admit what you want to admit. You don't like women.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say that.
Right? That's what you're saying, right? Because every one of your complaints, oh, it's the bait and switch. I'll tell you now. I knew 6 months before Hawkeye came out that it was focused on Kate Bishop. You know why I know? Because I know the comics.
Right, because he's a comic person.
This was never going to be a solely, mainly Clint Barton gritty story. It was always going to be him passing the torch on to Kate Bishop. That's what the whole point of this fucking show was, because 6 to 8 months before that show even came out, honestly, right after they finished filming fucking Endgame and Infinity War. Jeremy Renner said, I only want to do this last fucking thing and I'm done.
Done. Just like Ryan Reynolds want to do Deadpool and then done. Like that's it. Like,
I don't get what your guys' fucking problem is. If you don't like Marvel and the way it's going, fine. Go watch whatever the fuck WB is doing with DC, because nobody knows what the fuck they're doing anymore. But that's more right up your alley, because it's got all the male testosterone you fucking assholes need.
It's got, Robert Pattinson, it's got the...
They've only got one female hero, and they slutterize her up all up and down the second fucking movie.
Lord, oh my God. Harley Quinn.
Oh, no, I forgot about her. I was talking about Wonder Woman.
Oh, that too? Oh, yeah, you saw her under...
They focus more on her ass in the shoots than anything else.
Josh Whedon, you gotta calm down with that shit, bro.
And that's not even me knocking Gal Gadot. A, she is damn fine.
She's a fine body.
And B, she is very good at playing that fucking role. And I wish they actually made her more of the badass that Wonder Woman is in the fucking comics.
Yeah, they won't do it though. That's fine.
But sex sells, unfortunately.
Does it? Yes.
Go ahead and go watch your fucking stupid Flash movie that's going to have 2 different versions of the dude.
Yeah, I've seen that trailer. That was ass. I didn't like that trailer.
Yeah, go ahead and go so they can, revamp everything. Maybe you guys will actually like fucking Robin Patterson or what the fuck his name is, his fucking Batman.
Right. Cause
none of y'all, nobody fucking appreciated Affleck's.
Right? Damn, I get the... For what it was worth, at least
take your glittery ass Batman, get the fuck out my face.
Glittery ass. You gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it one time. Glitter. I'm going
coming out here with a 2-hour, 45-minute long fucking movie. Man, I'm gonna have to piss 3 times during that fucking movie. Guess who's not going to theater to see that?
You go Firestone the shit out of that bitch.
All right.
If you do one glitter, I swear.
All rants aside, I don't think there is a bad property in the MCU.
No.
I think everything has at least been decent enough to watch.
Right.
And enjoy.
And you may like I said, like some more than others. Like, I like Loki. I like Guardians of the Galaxy. He don't like Guardians of the Galaxy. He like Guardians of the Galaxy too. But everything's watchable. It's like we saw that tier list. And that irritated me. I was like, trash? None of these movies are trash.
No. That was somebody else.
But no, I'm just saying that was one of mine. That's why I saw that. I get it like that.
Here's the thing. That doesn't bother me.
Right.
Because
but
opinions are opinions. At the end of the day, opinions are opinions. You're
right.
going to like what you like. You're going to dislike what you dislike.
Right. But I'm like...
Where I'm going to have a problem is when the reason you dislike something because it's women.
And Moon Knight's a man, even though he's UK. Oh, he's UK. He's not purely white. Or is Oscar like Israel? I think something like that. So he's not a white man. So damn, I guess Moon Knight's out.
And then and the same dudes, I sat here and watched him fucking bitch and moan about the villains being women, talking about Girl and fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier being a villain.
Whoa, and she actually
did really good.
And really, she had a purpose. Just
right.
You know, her purpose literally was people come back for the blimp. Y'all were liking me, but now y'all kicking me out like homeless people, and that's anybody.
She had a reason to fight.
That's relatable. That could be us. Like, bro, like we were having a good moment, then all of a sudden you blimp back. What?
Anyways, that's my rant. I'm done bitching about those two fucking.
For now,
underwear stains
until they bring up more shit.
Until they bitch some more about stupid shit. No, honestly, I'll probably never watch another video of theirs again.
Yeah, we used to have the quarterly.
I've got no reason to.
Yeah, we were done. Like,
they obviously don't know how things work.
Yeah, because Marvel's gonna keep making money and keep doing what they do, so it's not gonna matter. But all right. Back to some good shit here.
No, not really.
Why? Oh yeah, well these episodes were. Yeah, these episodes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, they were bad.
So this
I rewatched them too.
Podcast episode is actually about the next 7 episodes. Episodes 8 through 14 of the Superhero Squad show. From season 1, which again did run from September 14th, 2009 to February 20th of 2010. That's a lot of episodes just for that short period of time.
Damn straight.
What did he put out, like 3 new episodes a week?
Yep. Well, they were only about, 15 minutes?
No, bro, they are fucking...
30 minutes.
28 minutes apiece?
Yeah, 30 minutes. I was just bullshit.
So Ralph didn't actually watch them. He just watched the first 10 minutes of each episode and was like, okay, I remember what happened.
Because this shit's garbage.
Now
that's garbage.
Funnily enough, so when I started watching the episodes, my favorite episode so far is going to be talked about next week's next week. Mm-hmm. I actually gave it an 8.
Okay.
I gave one episode an 8. I thought it was actually really well done. It wasn't funny,
right?
But the story they told was a good story.
I think before we had our little sick moment, we texted each other. We said like it was. You said like the jokes weren't hitting, and I said, well, yeah.
Yeah, this.
Yeah. What do you think?
We'll talk about that at the end of this little segment. Starting off with episode 8, this is called Night in the Sanctorum, which in the intro,
right,
Hulk turns into Disco Inferno Hulk.
Which that was awesome.
Which was fun to see.
That was awesome. I like that.
But anyway, so the quick synopsis of this little episode. Our heroes are flying in a helicarrier when Falcon seems to crash it. So our heroes need to find a place to sleep. They try several different places, including Tony Stark's tower, which they ended up getting ran off of because his defense system wouldn't let them come near. For whatever reason, it was on the fritz.
He said, back the fuck up.
They tried Punisher's van, which they eventually got kicked out of.
I like the little Easter eggs, I think, though. I do like that. The Easter eggs are cool.
Reptile's home.
Reptile's home.
Which was fine until they crashed through the floor. And then the parents kicked him out.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Sanctum Sanctorum, which they were also doing well at until... who was it that let Mordo out of the Dark Dimension?
No, because it's the heroes that let him
It's one
out.
of the heroes.
I thought it was Doom, but no, I forgot.
I think it's Iron Man.
It was Iron Man.
I think it was Iron Man.
Cap.
No, because Cap wasn't with him if I remember
Right. Because I say it was either going to be Iron Man, Cap, or Incredible Hulk.
Right. I'm pretty sure it was Iron Man.
Right.
And he accidentally let Mordo out.
He was stupid.
And Strange comes out in his boxers and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Right. You stupid mother. I would have put him in there.
So Strange kicks them out. Right. And
into fucking Dynamo. Like right into an abyss.
But we eventually do find out that what caused the wreck was Enchantress.
Yeah. Which that was interesting.
And then she goes on to release flying monkeys into the city. And
That's
our
Wizard of
heroes,
Oz.
who have not gotten any sleep,
Nope.
are stuck fighting while being tired.
Yep.
They end up taking out the monkeys pretty easily by leading them to Stark Tower, where Stark Tower's defense system ends up taking care of all the monkeys.
Right.
Enchantress then attacks them personally, at which point Doctor Strange comes to their aid. They beat Enchantress. She leaves, vowing revenge, as villains do.
Oh, yeah. I will come back for you.
And everyone apologizes to Falcon basically for being a dick.
Right.
Because everyone was blaming Falcon on the crash.
Right.
And then they all end up sleeping in a bird's nest.
Well, yeah, the whole point was to get sleep.
It was Red Wing's nest.
Did you see how tight... Bro, they look droopy as fuck, bro. They were like zombies.
Now, I will say, this episode did have a moment that actually had me cracking the fuck up.
Oh.
And it was while Punisher was talking to them, and he was comparing crime to Brussels sprouts sneaking onto a plate of delicious mac and cheese.
That was weird.
And I lost my shit. I was like, he's right.
He's right.
He is right.
Because he said, like, how they were infiltrating. It's like... It's like, he wants them separate. It's like, because they were just coming through. It was like, what the... I mean, yeah, because I like to separate my shit, too.
And I was laughing, because I don't like Brussels sprouts either. Over and above, although, I gave the episode a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it 6.
Honestly, I would have given it a 5 out of 10, but the Punisher moment was great enough.
That, and we
to
saw
give it a
Rip
full
Till's
point.
mom and dad.
Right. And Enchantress is a good villain.
And, yeah. Enchantress did exactly what we saw in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's... Yeah.
Which we'll also see if you guys come back Thursday for our comic reviews.
Yeah.
Alright, so then episode 9 was called The Forest Green. Hulk turns into a Simpsons version of the Hulk in this one.
That was weird.
Which was weird to see.
Yeah, that was a...
So in this episode, our heroes start off fighting with Abomination and MODOK in the air for a fractal that they stole after destroying a retirement home.
Right.
They retrieve it and end up crash landing, and in the process, Falcon's wings get destroyed.
Falcon just keeps getting taken L.
Falcon throws himself a pity party.
Yep, a pity party.
At which point, Doom brings in Egghead to be in charge of his lackeys.
Right.
And this was one of those moments I was really happy we had started reading the comics, because I'd have had no clue who the fuck Egghead
Yeah,
was.
because Egghead he came with Fantastic Four, didn't he? No.
Egghead was
Iron Man?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, right. Yeah, he was Ant-Man. Yep.
So the plan is to shrink MODOK and Abomination and get them onto the helicarrier to steal the fractals. They get one of the fractals and enlist... They get one of the fractals, and then the heroes enlist the help of Ant-Man, who immediately suspects that it's Egghead. Ant-Man then shrinks our heroes, and they fight the villains on their level. They all end up in a vat of salsa, where the Hulk is about to drink them, but is stopped until Reptile and Miss Marvel stop him, basically saying, hey, the food is not ready.
Can you imagine him just roll credits on that episode? He just ate the whole Avengers.
Right.
We want to eat this. What the fuck?
Our heroes end up getting sniffed up Hulk's nose.
Ha! Yep.
And then Falcon drops powder on Hulk's finger, making him sneeze them out. At which point, Ant-Man grows our heroes back, and the villains get snotted out of the helicarrier because they make he ends up sneezing, and they fly out of the window.
That was a weird...
And then Falcon pretty much saves the day, making him happy again. He actually felt like he belonged.
Well, shit, because, yeah, he did. He failed for, like, the past couple episodes now.
The funniest moment of this was... So the heroes were on a plate where Reptile is trying to show Miss Marvel how he makes his enchiladas or whatever the fuck he's
Tacos
making.
or something,
Chimichanga, whatever, you know.
And she was not having it.
And he's mashing the fucking thing with a fork. And our heroes, as well as the villains, are all on this fucking plate trying to dodge the fucking fork.
Like, we gotta go.
And it is hilarious.
They're like this, like... Yeah.
However, this episode absolutely sucks as a whole. I gave it a 4.
4. Oh, definitely a 4.
I gave it a 4.
Definitely a 4.
Which is the worst episode so far.
Yeah, so far. We'll probably get more. But right now, yeah, that was the worst one. I don't like that. Damn.
Episode 10 is called Oh Captain, My Captain.
Yep.
Now, in the credits, Hulk turns into Baby Hulk.
Yep. I said fatality.
Which they're starting to revert back to the things they've already used.
Yeah, they're trying to run out of ideas.
So, from this moment on, I am no longer going to be talking about what Hulk turns into.
Right.
Because they're not doing anything new.
Right.
They're just reusing the intros. And I don't care.
Right.
That's just 20 to 30 more seconds of the show I don't have to watch.
Right, you say skip intro. Right.
Exactly. All right. So Wolverine's having a bad day.
Of course.
And he leaves the group. Captain America's assembling a team of captains and has Wolverine become Captain Canada.
Hey, there it is.
Which probably would have confused some kids, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of kids out there that did not know Wolverine is Canadian. You don't know who the hell
Captain Canada is.
No. They just probably didn't know Wolverine's Canadian.
Right. I was going to say they don't know who Captain Canada is unless, like you said, read the comics.
Reptile takes Wolverine's place on the team, officially.
Right.
And his first mission is to go buy more cereal.
Like a bitch.
Doom has his stooges try and...
That was a funny moment.
Doom has his stooges try and recruit the Ringmaster, which again, thankfully I've read earlier comics, because I'd have had no clue who the Ringmaster was.
Tales.
Right. Although my first time ever reading about him was in Spider-Man.
Right.
We haven't got that far yet.
Right.
But he will be in one of the Spider-Man issues soon.
Okay.
It's actually one of the issues Daredevil also crosses over into.
I say, yeah, it should be ready to come up, right?
Right. 11 or 12-ish. We're on 8.
Yeah. Okay. So about like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks from now. Okay, that was it. Yeah. All right. Now this really got. Yeah.
So Thor. So Doom ends up having his stooges try and recruit the Ringmaster.
Right.
And Thor and Reptile see them doing whatever it is that they're doing, so they follow him. Meanwhile, the captains are tracking down Plant Man, who again is in the comics.
Tales. That's also Strange Tales.
At least he looks cool in this issue instead of how he looked starting off in the comics.
Like a gardener?
Because starting off in the comics, he looked a lot like a very bad Riddler impersonator.
Right. He like a shitty gardener.
Right.
But yeah, I like how they're using these characters too. Like you wouldn't,
right.
If you don't know the comics, you wouldn't really know. Which is that's kind of a bad thing too, because here we're supposed to like watch these characters. We're like,
well,
it gives
us
this guy?
It gives us a different appreciation. For
right. Well, yeah. I respect it for what it's worth.
Had we been watching these and not known who these people were, I'd have just been like, okay, so who the fuck are you? Why do I care?
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Why y'all making people up for the show?
Right, that would be because you would think Ringmaster and Plant Man, like that's a made up character, and they're like, no, these are actually real. They are, yeah.
So the captains are tracking down Plant Man, and they're attacked by giant plant monsters. Cap gets kidnapped, and Wolverine gets pissed that they won't go save him.
Right.
Ringmaster hypnotizes. Meanwhile, Ringmaster ends up hypnotizing Thor and Reptile, and makes them sleep.
Yep.
The Caps reveal that Captain America is actually bugged, and they're going to track him back to the base to get Plant Man. Meanwhile, Thor and Reptile wake up in a lion cage. The others show up, and they all pretty much team up and wreck Ringmaster. Although it is found out that Iron Man and them actually show up because they're wondering where their cereal's at. It has nothing to do with trying to save them.
I wouldn't give a fuck about saving. I just want to know where my cereal's at. We told you to do this mission. Oh my god.
And then we see the captains take out a bunch of imitation Plant Mans. Wolverine smells that the main one's inside the greenhouse, and then as the Caps are becoming overwhelmed, Wolverine uses a magnifying glass technique to beat the plants, and the other Caps end up joining in. They win. Wolverine leaves the Caps and rejoins the superhero squad. The funniest moment, though, was the first, 5 minutes of the episode where Wolverine is just having a shitty day.
That, I was going to say, for me, would be the Reptile getting cereal. Because he was... The way how they...
He's like, what's my first mission?
Right. That was
We need you to go get cereal.
And I was like, gotcha, bitch. You thought you was... You wasp. Let me stop. You've been the wasp, bitch. You became a side dish.
Now, I enjoyed watching everything just bad happen to Wolverine. Every time he tried to do something, something got fucked up because of another member. And I fully understand him being like, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm done. Although I'm surprised he didn't decide to go, join the X-Men.
Right?
I don't understand the captain move. But, hey, it is what it is. I gave it a 6 out of 10, though.
I gave it a 5 out of 10. That's cool.
Episode 11 is called If This Be My Thanos. Doom is bored.
Right.
And he's visited by Thanos. Thanos shows off the gems, and he wants to help Doom as long as Doom can help him break into the Baxter building.
Right.
Doom's, excited.
Yeah. He said, let's do it.
Because Doom wasn't even the one that suggested it.
Right.
And, of course, Doom being the Fantastic Four villain, he's like, let's get into that Baxter building.
Right.
So our heroes are all on vacation. Well, not all of them. The ones that aren't on vacation fly over a monster truck show where it explodes, We then see the Fantastic Four fighting the Skrulls.
Right.
Our heroes help when they are attacked by Super Skrull. The Skrulls escape, and our heroes join the Fantastic Four and end up going into space. Except for Falcon, who gets left behind.
Aw, poor bastard.
Our villains are joined by...
Oh, yeah.
Face Pop Pete.
Here we go. PPP. My MVP.
Another character I'd have had no clue who the hell he was.
Right.
Had we not read the comics.
Exactly.
I even put WoW in my fucking notes.
Right?
Wow.
He just like appeared. I was like, oh, there he is. Hey!
Our heroes fight with the Skrulls in space, and at one point, the Skrulls turn into cows, which is fantastic because it is a callback to the first time the Fantastic Four actually fought the Skrulls in the comics.
Yep.
Because it ended with them turning the ones that were left behind into cows.
Yep.
And once they turn into cows, they can't turn back because they actually take on the presence of a cow.
Right. It's almost like their mind was all cow.
I just thought it was really cool that they did that.
Well, like I
was
said, you read the comics, you wouldn't know that. You'd be like, yo,
it's a callback to the first Skrull appearance. And I was like, I like this.
But if you weren't somebody who never read the comics, you'd be like, oh, cows. Oh, what the hell is that? Who's that guy?
Right.
What's that sticky shit? Pause.
So, Falcon fights Pete, Abomination, and MODOK.
And he gets the fuck... Let me stop.
Thanos is there and finds the stuff that he's looking for, which is like some vial.
Wow, yeah.
But Herbie ends up taking it and running. For those of you that don't know who Herbie is an AI robot.
Fantastic Four.
For the basically works for the Fantastic Four.
When they replaced Human Torch, because then he died.
No, Herbie never replaced Human Torch.
Oh, I thought he replaced him.
No, Spider-Man replaced Human Torch.
Okay. Herbie was just there.
Herbie's just basically he's their Alfred. Whatever they need, he just goes and does.
Nice.
The Fantastic Four show up, and we find out Thanos is not actually Thanos,
right,
but he's really a Skrull. And the other Skrulls were on Earth trying to capture him because he was a rogue Skrull that they were trying to put in jail. At which point, Doom fires Paste Pot Pete, and then all the villains leave.
Right.
I actually really enjoyed this episode. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Damn, I gave it a 7 out of 10 as well. Because I saw automatically, Paste Pot Pete showed, I said, yeah, that's going to be a 7. Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, again, using Paste Pot Pete when they never really had to. There's so many other villains they could use.
Right? That was crazy.
But to reach into the annals of fucking Fantastic Four, mainly Human Torch history.
Right?
And snatch up a villain that nobody knows who the fuck this is.
And got away.
And it was enjoyable. It was a lot of fun. Funniest moment I had for this episode was Thing and Hulk basically fighting all episode on who's the strongest one.
Right, who's the strongest.
Throughout the entire episode, every time they're together, I'm the strongest one.
They're like, I'm the strongest.
There's even one part where Hulk's like, Hulk smash, and then all of a sudden you hear, it's clobbering time. And I was like, let's go.
I thought they were going to just like keep fighting each other. Let's go. I was ready for this shit to go down because I was like that in the comics. That was a callback to the comics. I thought just go keep squaring up. Let's go.
Episode 12 is called Deadly as the Black Widow's Bite. This one starts off with Wolverine popping the Doom Blimp and some chick by the name of Screaming Mimi, MODOK, and Abomination get the upper hand until Black Widow shows up and beats everybody's asses.
Literally.
Everyone is trying to, and all our heroes for the next few minutes of the episode are trying to basically impress Black Widow because they're all attracted to her.
Hell yeah.
However, we eventually find out that Black Widow is actually Mystique.
Of course.
Mystique joins Iron Man on the fractal delivery, and she turns into Cap, at which point Cap sees himself on the computer and calls the superhero squad for help.
Right.
Because he's like, that can't be me, I'm here.
I'm right here.
The heroes show up just in time. Iron Man ends up fighting Mystique. Thor hits Mystique in the head with a hammer, causing her to start mixing up all the different people that she can turn into. Doom shows up, and Mimi reveals herself to actually be Songbird, but undercover.
Songbird, right.
And Songbird ends up stopping our villains.
Right.
That
was interesting.
Thought the funniest moment of this entire episode was Mystique shape-shifting after she got hit in the head with the hammer. Mm-hmm. She was turning into, like, it'd be like half Cap, half Wolverine, and half another hero and another hero, and it was just funny. Regardless though,
because Songbird, she's part of the Thunderbolts, wasn't she?
Songbird, no, Songbird an X-Men.
Right. Okay.
I still gave the episode a 5 out of 10. Though. It wasn't that good.
Yeah. It's damn. Isn't it weird though? Like, cause see, we're given good moments, but overall, it's just these did not hit nothing.
No.
So yeah, I gave like a 4 out of 10 actually.
Episode 13 is called Tremble at the Might of MODOK. Alright, so MODOK draws a cartoon showing him beating Doom with all the other smart villains watching at a place called BrainCon. Apparently,
MODOK is just
they have a smart person convention.
That too, and MODOK just does not like Doom.
Which, by the way, I wrote in my notes, yay, Impossible Man is there. It was just cool seeing Impossible Man in the show.
Impossible Man, which, that one. It's not that guy.
Watcher ends up showing up and talking shit to MODOK. At which point, we end up getting MODOK being in the middle of a fight. I don't know how they shifted so quickly into the story. But during the fight, a fractal piece flies off into the gem in MODOK's head. And MODOK, he stays himself, but he grows.
Right, he grows.
A few sizes. At which point, he turns on Doom and takes over the villains, and the city, for that matter. Our heroes escape, and Hulk ends up becoming super puny because he gets his energy drained.
Right.
Loki watches from afar and comes in to join MODOK. Because he's like, you're all-powerful.
Right.
I want to help you take over the Earth.
That's so Loki.
But we also know Loki has other plans up his sleeve.
Right, what? That's dope. That's so Loki. So
Loki is planning on betraying MODOK.
Of course.
We then get a Rocky training montage for Doom, who had his energy sapped. And our heroes end up attacking MODOK, who's trying to redecorate the city in his image. Mm-hmm. Thor and Wolverine get their powers sapped. Iron Man gets Storm and Panther to help, which I thought was cool because, again, they are married in the, well, at least they were at one point in the comics.
Right. And that's kind of cool to see more characters show up. That's
right.
Cool.
During the fight, Doom ends up helping our heroes.
Right.
Loki and MODOK end up arguing and fighting, and Doom brings MODOK some ice cream, which gives him brain freeze, allowing Black Panther to dislodge the fractal a little bit, which allows Doom to fully free it, giving our heroes their powers back, which then allowed them to basically kick all the villains out of the city. Thor chases Loki back to Asgard. Right. Our heroes thank Panther and Storm for helping. Doom locks MODOK in a weapons testing chamber, and then Watcher laughs at Doom, or Watcher laughs at MODOK from a distance because Watcher is a dick, and I like him.
Well, he said he mocked him at the beginning.
Yeah, the funniest moment to me was the BrainCon intro. I gave this episode a 7. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, I gave it a 6. It was cool.
It was actually
the Watcher
pretty decent
made it
little story
there too because he showed up as well. So,
all right, and then the last episode we're going to talk about, episode 14. This is called MODOK, another MODOK centered episode.
Right.
Except it's called Mental Organism Designed Only for Kisses. This episode grossed me out so much.
I don't care. Like that was a.
All right, so
cringy too.
Enchantress and Scourge show up to offer help to help Doom by making Thor fall in love with her because, again, Marvel shows are consistent, and Enchantress has this deep embedded love for Thor.
Right.
Regardless of which, if you guys come back for this is apparently Thor week in our comics. Right. So when you guys come back, there's more of that in this part of the story.
More fighting, more everything.
So at least the Marvel shows are consistent.
Right.
We get a quick flashback to when Thor and the Warrior 3 were all in a rock band, and Enchantress was their groupie, which was hilarious.
Nice.
Which is my funniest moment of the episode again.
Right, we don't want you here. Oh, okay. She said, bye.
So
kick her ass out.
Doom agrees, but Scourge isn't pleased because he loves Enchantress.
Right.
Which Scourge is also known as the Executioner. Right. That's his fighting name. Odin wants Thor to marry Brunhilde.
Oh, I've heard Brunhilde in a long time.
And again, this was another one of those moments I thought was dope as fuck.
Right.
Because here's the thing. I never knew Valkyrie was Brunhilde.
Huh. Cool.
The last time we heard of Brunhilde was the very first week of our comic reading. We read through, or it was the second week.
The Thor, Son of Asgard.
It was Thor, Son of Asgard series. Was the first series we read.
Right.
And one of the stories was Brunhilde showing up for the first time as a character.
Out of nowhere.
And her and Sif got into it.
Right. Like a full-on fight. I think they fell into the water fountain thing.
Right.
So to know
she goes on to become Valkyrie,
right,
is dope. I loved it. I was like, okay.
Like,
this was the first time I realized that.
Right.
I even put in the thing, I said, bruh, all the comic references. Anyways, so Brunhilde shows up to fight the villains.
Right.
And Iron Man wants to impress her. Iron Man, Valkyrie, Miss Marvel, and Thor end up defeating Fin Fang Foom, at which point Iron Man realizes he doesn't like Brunhilde, so he leaves her alone, which leaves it open for Thor to try and impress her some more.
Of course.
Pretty much for the rest of the series. Enchantress's spell ends up missing Thor and hits Miss Marvel, and what the spell does is, once the spell is cast, whoever the first person that person looks at is who they fall in love with.
Which I thought we heard that in the Thor Son of Asgard as well.
Yes.
Boom.
Except in that, they used a mirror.
Right.
This was just a spell.
This was just a regular spell.
However, the person that Miss Marvel is walking with, because she's going to arrest him, is MODOK. And that's the first person she looks at. And this is where things get creepy.
Right.
So, Miss Marvel falls in love with MODOK and starts kissing the shit out of him.
Oh, wow. You're like, going in
and
deep.
Everyone is both shocked and disgusted, including myself.
Yeah, I got cringed out. So, ooh.
We then get this weird romance montage between MODOK and Miss Marvel.
Which we didn't need, but okay.
Thor goes to visit Brunhilde, but Scourge has frozen her. So so they're getting ready to fight. Iron Man attacks MODOK and gets wrecked by Miss Marvel, because Miss Marvel's protecting her MODOK.
Well, I say, right.
We don't know what he is.
Right. She's like, and I'm protecting my man. Don't touch him. I'm like, damn, right?
Scourge and Thor fight.
Yep.
Iron Man is actually a little bit jealous of MODOK.
Right.
Because he kind of likes Miss Marvel.
Right. No, yeah.
And then we get Hawkeye showing up to help stop Miss Marvel. We also get this is the first time it has happened in this entire series. Iron Man laughs like SpongeBob.
Right.
We know it's the same voice actor.
Right, Tom Kennedy.
But they did it on purpose. I don't remember what it was, but there was a joke that was said, and we got the legit SpongeBob laugh out of Iron Man. Which was also weird.
Right.
MODOK ends up leaving the villains to join the heroes.
Right, that was weird.
And then Enchantress gives Hawkeye an arrow to break the spell.
Right.
At which point, Hawkeye shoots Miss Marvel.
And she
turns on MODOK.
Right.
And beats the shit out of him.
Right, beat the shit out of him.
At which point, the episode ends with the guys teasing Miss Marvel, and then she ends up beating their asses.
Yeah.
I thought
that was a funny moment. Just she turned and beat the fuck out of everybody. Everybody was getting this work.
Right. I ended up giving this episode a 6 out of 10.
5 out of
10. Had they not gone on this weird fucking constant kissing tangent between Miss Marvel and the bobblehead that is fucking MODOK,
right,
I probably would have given it a 7, because it's not a bad episode.
No. But
I don't know if watching this episode is worth the 15 to 20 minutes of watching them basically make out. I was just like, it
was cringy. I was like, it's one of the ones where you're like, can we get to the next scene? We're keeping it going. Who wrote this?
It's like, oh, we're doing this.
Right.
So with that is the last episode we're going to talk about. And I wanted to close talking a little bit about how I feel like this show is losing the little bit of charm I had seen through the first 7 episodes.
I mean, you texted me this too. You said it's like it's low, and I said, well,
I feel like the humor's starting to wear down on me, and I don't know if it was because I was getting sick or what, but a lot of the things that I found funny in the first 7 episodes just started to feel repetitive.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that with us only being a little over halfway through, we've got 12 more episodes to cover. I've already watched 2 of them, and like I said, one of them is still my favorite episode so far in the series. But it's not because of its humor. It's because of the story that's told. And again, we'll get to that next week. Or the next week that we do this. Either next week or the week after.
Right.
And I'm kind of worried moving forward that I'm going to end up hating the series. Like, if I was watching 1 episode a week, it wouldn't be that bad.
But we're watching like 7 of them. So.
But we're watching 7 at a time, 6 at a time.
Right.
And it's just not one of those shows like Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes was
Right,
so
that was what was
so
coming out.
good.
Like this show was coming out around that time when this show was just starting to come out. And it's like, and I think I told you before, it's almost like it's kind of a pimp slap. Like somebody pimp slapped me with this thing. It's like,
and
I don't care about this though.
I feel like another thing this show is suffering from is there's only one overall plot going on, but it's not consistent.
Right.
And that plot is Doom trying to get all the fractal pieces.
Right.
But here's the thing. It's not a connective plot. It's not like
right.
Nothing that happens is ever referenced again in another episode. You can literally watch these episodes completely out of order, and you're not fucking up the story. Except for maybe the very first 2 episodes, because Reptile wasn't there, and then he was.
Right.
Because he got recruited. But after he's on the team, so after like episode 2 or 3, any episode from then on out, you could, like I said, watch in any order,
right, and
it will not ruin anything. And I feel like that is what this show is missing. If this show had that, I would probably be rating it 2 points higher per episode, because you would be telling an overall story that's all tying together. But all we're getting is
hijinks.
Everybody wants the fractals. That's the only overall story. Everybody wants the fractals because it makes them stronger.
Right. And
none of the villains are actually teaming up.
Right.
You spend most of the time with MODOK planning on trying to find a fractal to take over, as he did in the episode that he got one.
Right. They end up losing it.
Doom not liking any of the people that works for him. He fires people like Paste Pot Pete and fucking Melter and shit like that.
Ain't that a bitch? He fired him.
But he keeps fucking MODOK and Abomination around like they're not the dumbest fucking people in the show.
You actually had decent talent. You're letting them go. Wow.
And I feel like it's a bummer because they are using and pulling from so many sources within Marvel, dude. I've seen more characters used in this show than I could probably say I've seen in 2 or 3 other series combined. Like, they're reaching back and grabbing people like Egghead. They're reaching back and grabbing people like Paste Pot Pete, Ringmaster. In one of the next episodes, we get, and I'll go ahead and ruin as far as who they are that's in it.
I got you.
We get Crimson Dynamo teaming up with the Melter, which are 2 Iron Man characters. And again, Crimson Dynamo being more of a little more popular Iron Man villain, but the Melter's really not. And it's like they're pulling from all these sources from the past, and even in Heroes, dude, we've seen the Fantastic Four get involved. We've seen so many different members of the X-Men. We've seen both. We've seen Hawkeye. We've seen Black Panther show up. We've seen people from Asgard show up. It's just so many characters for you to just not tell us a story that matters.
And I told you this. Like I said, that the story is, if you just want to hide, and I think that's what you was trying to go off of. And then I asked you, then I said, well, now the jokes are starting to die down. I said, well, without that's it. I'm gonna tell you, bro.
One of the things I had said last week, or the last week that we did this,
we had a conversation.
I had said this reminds me of Animaniacs, but with Marvel.
And now it's like...
But the problem is it's really not.
Nope.
Because with the Animaniacs, you had the main story that was going on for that episode.
Still had a story.
But then they had 2 side stories that pop on during the episode, whether it was like Good Idea, Bad Idea, Mindy and Buttons.
The Pigeons.
The Good Feathers, I think is what they were called. And so many other things. And then in this, it's like you don't have that other distraction that's like, hey, look what's going on over here.
Right. Or it's like you're doing a distraction, but then you want us to come back to the story, and then that story is a distraction. It's like...
And instead, with this, you're just filling it with fart jokes, and which are funny. I mean, I'm a guy. I will always find farts to be funny.
It was just the chuckle. Oh, okay.
Or, a bird flying off into a propeller blade is fucking hilarious to me.
Gotcha, bitch.
But no, just over and above all, like, I just... it's missing something. And
more time to write.
And again, I'm pretty sure this is going to be
the norm.
The norm, at least for the rest of this season. I don't know if that changes for season 2.
Right. But right now, that's it.
But right now, I'm like, I can kind of see why it got shit on.
I see why I got the 40%.
And again, if I'm only watching 1 episode a week, cool. I would actually probably really enjoy the series. But we're also now in a day and age, too, where binging's the thing.
Right.
And how are you going to binge a show
that you don't like?
That you get bored of halfway through?
Right. I felt bored. Damn, and that's so sad. It started out good, then that's like, well, I told you it's going to start dying down, and then it's just going to get worse. But who knows? Like I say, you might still like it, so. Yeah.
Like, if I had to rate it today, it'd probably get like a 5 overall from me.
Probably 4. As of right now. They'll put it like at...
I'll give you props, though. You're still better than Punisher Warzone.
Right. But you're not as good as the fucking Simpson one. It's only 5 minutes. Was that sad?
It might be better than that. That was so bad.
That's because it did.
Because here's the problem. Even the Simpsons special, it was 5 minutes, but it was 5 minutes of what the fuck are we even watching?
I remember one time we like last year.
I was so excited for that special.
We was going to do like our old little segment from it too. And next thing you know, your face was like, that's like 5 minutes? What the fuck? What?
And I even told you, you hadn't even watched it yet.
No,
I didn't even tell you how long it was. I said, hey, we're going to cover The Simpsons and something else. And you were like, really? And I was like, yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I was like, you'll see why. He comes in like 10 minutes later and goes, dude, that is the shortest fucking thing I have ever watched.
Yeah, I was a little bit upset. I was a little upset. Like, because it ends with like Loki just taking over. I said, well, there's no conclusion. So
there was no story.
No, there was no story.
You can't tell a solid story in 6 minutes.
Right? I've seen better shit like that on YouTube.
It takes me longer to get through porn.
The microwave that cooks our food has a better story.
Right.
Literally. That's 1 minute.
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how things go. There's only 12 more episodes. And we've got another month and a half before
we move to something else.
Move on to fucking
Moon Knight.
I hope you draw something better at the end of this. I'm counting on you. Apparently, I can't draw for shit because I was the one that drew Punisher Warzone.
Right.
And I was also the one that drew this. You're at least drawing
Spider-Man
stuff.
Spider-Man.
Except for, I still blame you for Spider-Man 3 shit show.
And I said it to I said, oh no.
Oh no.
I said, hold on.
Well, you remember my face when I drew this? I went,
oh no, keep that face. Yep, keep that face because you think the next episode. But
you know what the good news is?
What?
We're getting it out of the way.
Yeah, that's the point, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to get that shit out of the way, like when we get to Captain Marvel.
And they're just going to be honest with how we feel about things, and this is just.
This is literally like
not a very good show.
Honestly, it's not a good show. Now I see why I got the 30, 40, 40%. Yeah. Some people say, well, critics are evil, which that's true. Critics can be assholes.
I'm running across 1.5 episodes that I like per 7 episodes
Ain't
that I watch.
Bitch, and that's what's bad. That is what's bad right there. Like, you should be liking at least some of them. Not saying all, but some of, like, majority of them. You only like it 1 or 2 out of, like, 10. It's like, well,
right.
That's about right. So, yeah.
But all right, guys, we're going to end that here. For those of you that are watching, thank you so much for showing up.
All 4 of you guys.
Later this week on Thursday will be our Comic Corner podcast, and again, one of 2 things will happen: either we won't be back the next week, or we will. Again, me and my girl are supposed to be going on vacation, which may not happen because
she said it fell through.
Well,
her
sister and her sister's husband caught COVID.
Right. That's it.
2 of her friends have caught COVID, and they just don't know if they're going to be well by next weekend. So chances are this is going to get canceled and rescheduled.
Which is fine. I mean, not fine, because I know you guys want to go, but...
No. I want to go.
Yeah, I know you said you want to go.
But I would rather it be warmer when we go. Because here's what people don't understand. New Mexico is just as cold here as it is there.
Oh, shit.
Right now.
Oh, so you gotta go
if I'm gonna go, I want to go
like in June
when it's a little warmer.
Like around the time.
Honestly,
I don't think it was in June.
Yeah,
right.
Or her mom just needs to move to like Florida, so that way when we go to visit for her birthday, it's warm.
You just like warm shit. Like right now, it's too cold. I don't know. Like if you guys
we're recording this after work because this bitch is afraid of snow. He's gonna chuck out my cigarettes. Leave my cigarettes alone, bitch.
It's like, motherfucker. It's like, damn, you gonna chuck? Yeah. Like, yeah.
Nah. Honestly, I was gonna hit him up and see if he wanted to do this.
He said you got 2 options. I said you can record now or later, and I said either way, this bitch will keep you here till 3:00 p.m. Sunday. Like, I didn't leave the house, so what the fuck?
But yeah, so
overall, these episodes were bad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, there's only one really good episode out of all of these.
One? And really...
And now, at least through the first 2 episodes of next week's that I have seen, one of them is really good to me. So I'm hoping it starts an upward trend. I don't have faith that it will, but I'm hoping.
Can they do that shit, like... And it looks like the story paused on itself. Like, they look like they were lost. Like, dear God. Somebody give people directions, goddammit.
Right. All right, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we love you guys. Remember, we'll be back Thursday for the Comment Corner, and we will see you all next week. Excelsior!
Kaboom. Go look at more Moon Knight.
Goes the dynamite.
Moon Knight.